Okay, in one of the examples we just did, these were our factors. Okay, and we know these then are the roots. Okay, that's the factor theorem. So, if f of k is 0, then x minus k is a factor. If I filled 3 into my sum, I would get 0 equals 0. Okay, if I fill 3 in instead of x. If I fill 2 in instead of x, I'd get 0 equals 0. Okay, so that means x minus 3 is a factor. Okay, so all you're looking at is the difference between this is factors and this is a root. If it tells you something is a factor, that means you can fill the root in and you will get 0. That's what we use the factor theorem for. Okay, so for example, show that 2x minus 3 is a factor of this cubic polynomial. How used we do this? Show something was a factor. We did long division, exactly. You divide it in and the remainder is 0. Okay? It's actually much quicker now, okay, to use the factor theorem. So, 2x minus 3 is a factor. So, what we can do is 2x minus 3 equals 0. 2x is 3. X is 3 over 2. That's the root. If 2x minus 3 is the factor, then x is 3 over 2 is the root. And all we do is fill that in to the cubic. And if I get 0, it is a factor. Okay?
Why do you take 2x minus 3?
Because that's the factor.
Okay.
Yeah, they said it to me. If it's a factor, when I fill it in, I should get 0. F of 3 over 2 equals 0. Okay? That just means fill 3 over 2 into your function instead of x, and you should get 0. Just fill it in. So let's fill it in here. It's going to be 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 5x minus 3. And I throw that into my calculator, and I get 0. That means it's factor.
So you don't have to show your work after that?
No. No. So if something is a factor, you fill in the root into the equation and you should get 0 if it's a factor. Let's do another example of that.
Wait, do you not have to do that to show that?
I've shown it's a factor by filling it in. That is literally it. It's really nice. Okay, so you take the factor, you make it a root by getting x on its own, and then you just fill it in. Okay, will I do example 2 of this?
And if you put it into your calculator, it just doesn't equal 0.
Then it's not a factor. Yeah. Okay, example 2. So if x minus 2 and x plus 1 are both factors, find the values a and b.
Is that minus 9 or minus 8?
Minus 9, sorry.
Would there be a question like this that so you can't use this method and then you have to use the...
You can all, yeah, you can go between them.
For the last question, because you have just divided and then have to go.
Yep. It's just way easier. Now that we know the factor theorem, it's way easier to just fill it in.
So does that mean we don't have to use any division anymore?
Well, you'll need it for other things. Okay, so these two things are both factors. So if x minus 2 is a factor, that means x equals 2 is a root. And when I fill that in, what should I get? 0. They're telling me it's a factor, so I know when I fill it in, I get 0. What's 2 cubed? 2 by 2 by 2? 8. 2 squared is 4. 4 threes is 12. Minus 18 plus b is 0. What are we going to get? How are we going to solve this thing? Yeah? Simultaneous. We've got an a, we've got a b. Okay? So generally, here I have minus 6, and I bring it over, it becomes plus 6. Okay? Also, x plus 1 is a factor. What do I do? Same thing, x plus 1 equals 0, so x is minus 1. Fill that in. And when I fill it in, I know it's equal to 0. When I have a minus number and an odd power, it always stays as a minus. Okay, so minus 1 by minus 1 is 1. By minus 1 is minus 1. Okay, even power, so that I know that will be a plus. Minus by minus is a plus. 9 and 3 is 12. Comes over, becomes minus 12. Now I have these two, so I'm going to do simultaneous. Any questions so far? Okay, draw a line. I'm going to change the bottom line sign so that the b's cancel. 8a plus a is 9a. B minus b cancel, and then 12 plus 6 is 18. So a is 2. And then just fill that back in somewhere. And that 16 comes over, becomes minus 16, so b is minus 10. So there you go, a is 2, b is minus 10. Now, they're just the basics on the factor theorem. We actually use the factor theorem for something really important. Okay? So we use it for solving cubics. Okay? Or higher order polynomials. Okay, for the minute we're going to do it for solving cubics. Okay, so to the power 3. And what you do is you guess your first factor using the factor theorem. You find the first factor by filling in different values for x and seeing which one gives you 0. Okay, so can I get rid of the board? I'm just giving you, you can write this after example 3 if you want, but it's just another subheading. Solving cubic expressions. We know how to solve quadratics. We can just do a factorizing or minus b. Bit different when we have to do a cubic. So, I know if I have a root, when I fill the root in, I should get 0. Okay, that's the factor theorem tells me that. Pick a few numbers. So I'm going to try, first of all, x is 0. That's 0, 0, 0, and 6. That's not equal to 0. So 0 is not a root. Okay? 0, 0, 0, and I'm left with a 6. You could just throw that all into your calculator and you'd be left with a 6. Okay, that's not equal to 0, so that means 0 is not a root. Then do 1, and then minus 1, 2, minus 2, and keep going. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 next. And see what it equals. So that's 1, 2 ones is 2, plus 1 is 3, minus 13 is minus 10, plus 6 is minus 4. Not equal to 0. That's not a root. Let's try minus 1. Okay, so that's going to be minus. So that's minus 2, plus 1 is minus 1, plus 13 is minus 12, not equal to 0. So we're going again to 2. Okay, 2 cubed is 8, 8 twos is 16, 16 and 4 is 20, 20 take 26 is minus 6, minus 6 plus 6, 0. So, x equals 2 is a root. So the converse said, if this is a root, then x minus 2 is a factor. Okay, x minus 2 is a factor. It is a factor of this thing. What can I do? I've just done the factor theorem to find the factor. I could divide, yeah. Yeah, okay. If I know it's a factor, I'm going to divide it in. Okay, so let's divide it in to find the other factors. Because we're trying to factorize and then solve. So we need the factors. I have one, now I need to find the others. Okay, you could keep going, do you see, like you could keep going like that to find the factors, but it's going to take you forever. Okay, so you might as well divide. So we'll start dividing x minus 2 into that. So x by what gives me 2x cubed? 2x squared. Multiply it back out. 2x squared by x, 2x cubed. 2x squared by minus 2 is minus 4x squared. Draw a line. Change your signs. X squared plus 4x squared is 5x squared. Bring that down. Nothing new here. X by 5x gives me 5x squared. Multiply it back out. Draw a line. Change your signs. Minus 13x plus 10x is minus 3x. Pull that down. Plus 6. Start again. X by minus 3. Minus 3x. Minus for minus is plus 6. So there's my other factor. Now, what's the problem with that factor? What type of factor is it? It's quadratic. What could I do to that? Factorize it. Yeah, minus b. Long but easy. Like there's nothing difficult here. Okay. So if we're going to factorize this, I know I multiply the 2 by the 3 to get the 6, don't I? What are the factors of 6? That'll give me 5. 2 and 3. I'm just going to get rid of this so I have a little bit of room. So you just keep working underneath. Okay, so I'm looking for minus 6. What are the factors of a minus? Minus and a plus. So it's either going to be plus 6 minus 1. Plus and a minus won't give me 5 with 2 and 3. Sure it won't. Okay, because one will be a plus, one will be a minus. So 2x squared plus 6x minus 1x minus 3. What's common to these two is 2x, x plus 3. What's common to these two? Minus 1, x plus 3. 2x minus 1, x plus 3. So this is what I'm left with as my factors. So if the question was factorize, you'd be done. But the question here is solve. Okay? So you need to split your page and get roots. These are factors. Okay? So my roots will be x is 2. 2x is 1, so x is a half. Or x is minus 3.
Miss, did you start in the middle there and then go to the top?
I went up here. I said keep going down underneath you. So that was factorizing this. Okay, and then my answer is down here.
And where did the x minus 2 come from the first one?
Here. So remember, x equals 2 is a factor. X equals 2 is a root, so x minus 2 is a factor. So that's your factor, and that's your factor. But you can factorize this by doing this. Okay, these are your answers.
So whenever it says solve, you always have to find roots?
You have to find roots. If they want factorized, you get factors. Solve, you get roots. Here, girls, you obviously could have done the minus b, and it would have brought you straight here. I wanted you to factorize it in case the question said factorize. Okay? So if it said factorize, this is what you're doing. And then solve.